Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Friday, August 1st. Happy Friday everyone. 6:24 right now. We got market opening up in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. So supply zones at 484, 200. Yeah. Okay. All right. So looks good right there so far. Yeah, looks like we're good to go. So let me go ahead and start marking up the liquidity. So it looks like the NFP data knocked out a lot of the pretty much the pending liquidity that's been hanging out all week. I'll take a look at it in a few to confirm, but that is what it's looking like here. So hopefully we get some direction today. As you guys have seen, the market's been pretty choppy all week. $15-minute, 10-minute, back down to the 1 minute here. All right, looks good. Looks like the big news spike was right here at 5:30. It wasn't too crazy. It was about 100 points, looks like. Yeah, 100 points both ways, and then it came right back down. So, yeah, nothing too crazy right there. Price looks like it spiked down right here to the Asia low, and then it swung all the way back up right there. So, if you guys followed our analysis from yesterday for NFP, I mentioned, look for the fade after price spikes to structure. Exactly what happened here. Price spiked into the supply zone, rejected directly off or the demand zone, and rejected directly off the sessions right there and shot all the way right back up. So looks like it did what it was supposed to do. Overall bias for today is bearish. Shows that futures are pricing at 1% drop open amid new tariffs, weak July jobs data. Risk off sentiment prevails and market positioning. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, the overall bearish here or overall bias is bearish, plus the overall trend here is also bearish. So we'll probably be sticking to sells for today. Um, Yeah, we'll kind of just look how price moves from this area. If anything, we'll look for price to maybe push up to the supply zone and then possibly sweep from right there if it pushes up, right? That's a big if. So we'll see what happens here shortly. Hey, Ben, morning. All right, guys. So we got market opening up shortly. Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, August 1st. Happy Friday, everyone. It is 6:28 right now. We got market opening up in about 2 minutes. Depending on how this next candle here closes, which it closed pretty flat, the momentum breakout for today is going to be a buy if anybody's looking to take it. However, I'd probably recommend against it because the overall bias for today is bearish. So today's key bias is bearish, plus the overall trend right now is also bearish. So if anything, we might get a bullish push initially, might be a temporary push to the upside of pretty much knock out liquidity and then possibly come right back down. So it's just up to you guys if you guys plan on taking that momentum breakout. I'm not really going to be looking to take that there specifically. I'll be looking for the next opportunity as price continues to move along, probably for a sell. I'll be looking for a possible orb entry. Hopefully we'll get one today. If not, then it's completely fine, but I'll be looking for it. So, all right, guys, we got market opening up in about 15 seconds. We got market opening up in about 10 seconds. Market open in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. So we got market pushing down right here initially. Let me mark up opening price right there. Not a big push, but slight push there. All right, so this opening candle right here, it's about 30 points. Nothing too crazy. Looking over here, this is possibly going to be the orb high. All right, so there's the current orb right now. We'll wait for this candle here to close, and then we'll look for the next one. All right, looks like price swept this liquidity right here. So we had a little bit of a sweep right there. Um, Price is coming down further, so a little bit of a sweep right here. Quick sweep. And this here is now the new high. Liquidity right there got broken. Liquidity right there got broken as well. Right down at this lower level of liquidity, see if this will possibly sweep off there, if we'll continue pushing down lower. So there could be a possible sweep right here, or price can continue dropping. So either sweep or a continuation. All right, so it looks like this will be the orb low if price ends up closing below this point. All right, so check to see if this sweeps or if it ends up swinging right back up to the range. Or if it breaks below and continues dropping from there, that could be the case too. All right, so this is going to be the orb low right here, guys. So if you're looking to take the orb position, it's going to be right here at 43,764. 43,764. So if this candle here closes below, you're going to look for price to kind of retrace up, fill it, and then come back down lower. I think price here looks a bit overextended. I don't know if I'm going to take this orb. All right, so no actual close below there, guys. A lot of tricky price action right here. Huge fake out right there. Price didn't actually close below it, so there's no orb low yet. We're looking for price to break and close below the 43,763. And then after it breaks and closes below, you're going to look for that retest of the same level or break and retest off the orb low. So no entry there. Yeah, Sam said very bad news for USA jobs, avoiding any trades at open. Yeah, this one's pretty tricky. Pretty tricky here. So again, if you guys are looking to take the orb right here, guys, if this candle closes below, your pending order will be right here at 43,764. But again, price here has not closed below it, so there's no orb below it at this point. Yeah, this is a very tricky entry right here. So no entry right there for the orb, guys. Again, it has not closed below. It's trying to close below, but every time it comes down here, it just swings right back up. So it looks like price may possibly sweep from this area here if it doesn't actually continue dropping. So there's one of two things that may happen here. Possibly a break and retest off this lower low. This is likely setup of a high low break and retest. Or if this ends up becoming a sweep zone, pull back into the range from there, right? So again, right here, this is the fourth attempt for it to break below this price point. Again, failure to break and close below the orb low. So no entry there yet, guys. I'm probably going to hold off on the orb again. As much as I wanted to take the orb today, you can see here that it's just not really getting past this level. Again, right there, another fake out. Looks like price is now starting to sweep off the orb low. Possible sweep, push back into the middle range. Yeah, so again, right here, like I said, this could either possibly be a sweep level, fake out, push back into the range, or it can be a break and retest continuation down lower. I just don't like how the price action is right here. It's just stuck. Again, right here, this candle is trying to break and close past it. This is the fifth attempt now. This is the fifth attempt for it to break and close below it. And it looks like it's again having trouble getting past this area. So if you guys want to take this here, I mean, feel free to take it if and when it comes up. It looks like it might actually close on this candle, but I mean, who knows? All right, so this one actually closed below. If you guys want to take this here, the orb low is going to be at 43,764. If price reaches the 40 points before it retests, then this has to be canceled. But if it doesn't, then your limit order should get filled. It's filled right there. We'll see if it actually comes back below. Not in this position here, guys. I'm just following it for you guys. I didn't like the price action here as price failed to get past this level so many times. So I'm not in this position. Good thing we skipped it because you can see right there a lot of manipulation at that point, right? So again, price is still having trouble getting past here. Get below. Not in that position right there. Like I said, I didn't like the price action. Price tried about 5 times to get below this point. Failure, failure, failure. Finally came below here, faked out, and now it's still stuck within this middle point. So dodged a bullet right there. This whole week's kind of been like this, guys. Every day this week, it's had trouble getting past the orb. A lot of fake outs. I don't think any orb hit this week, specifically because of the choppiness that's been happening. Let's see. PC said I think jobs report response might be over exaggerated to draw liquidity from bottom side. I don't know, just my thoughts. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, it did exactly what we talked about yesterday. So our analysis for the NFP data did exactly what we talked about, right? We mentioned look for the spike, which was right here, and then catch the fade, right, off structure. So price faded into the supply the band zone right here, and then it hit the Asia low. That's where the entry would have been taken for the opposite fade in the other way. I was kind of tempted to take it, but I don't really trade pre-market and I don't really trade news, but the analysis here played out perfect. So if you waited for the fade right there, you can do for a 50 to 100, and that right there would have played out pretty nicely. I mean, you could have gone even harder, 200. I would have just went for the 100 there. So yeah, I mean, I do think it's a little bit exaggerated as well. I mean, it was basically a fake at both directions. It's just continuing the initial push from earlier this morning. So it was bearish, faked out again, then now it's continuing that actual direction. But you can see from over here, price is having trouble just getting even lower. It's in this area, but it's just having trouble getting lower. We have a possible high-low break and retest setting up right here, guys. So it'd be at 43, let's see, 43, 726 if it ends up closing below this point. So we have a possible high-low break and retest, possibly setting up right here for a sell. I mean, I don't know how I feel about the price action here, though. Looks good, but I don't know how I feel about the price action here. So this could be a possible high-low break and retest if price breaks and closes past this 43,726. So I'll be watching for this here for possible entry. 43,726 for possible high-low break and retest right there. Again, I don't like the price action, how it fakes out at the last second, but we'll see here if this ends up being the case and we can actually maybe get this for a break and retest. Okay, looks like we might get one here, so I'll try to put my pending order.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
Wrong account. It doesn't look like it's gonna fill, so I'm just not gonna take it. I canceled my order, guys. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it's gonna come up and fill it. Yeah, no retest. So this candle broke and closed past it. I was waiting for it to push up and retest this area. It didn't actually come up and fill it. So if this doesn't fill on this specific candle right here, you guys have to cancel your order. It's got to fill on the first touch or the first candle. All right, so no entry there. I'll be looking for the next one. You know what I started looking at, guys, is the MPS, just regular MPS. The regular MPS would have filled right here. So price dropped. We had a retracement right here. Entry would have been at the 780. Yeah. I've been looking at the regular MPS, not the MPS V2, but the regular MPS. So we had a sell signal here, price pushed below, retraced on this candle. Entry be at the next whole number, 780, and it would have filled right there and came right back down. So this would be a regular MPS entry. Not MPS V2, but just regular momentum pullback scalp. The ATR is pretty high right now. It's at 36. Yeah, Sam, it's super high at the moment. Let's see. Sam said gold went up, but not much on NQYM. So response may come, just my thought. The fundamental may change. AI taking all jobs. So good for tech, but bad for economy. Yeah, I agree. 100%. So it looks like the break and retest filled a little later right here, guys. It didn't fill on that initial candle, but it filled on the second one, and it looks like it came right back down and hit. Yeah. So the strategy is playing out. I mean, our analysis here is playing out perfectly. It's setting up how it's supposed to, but it's just not setting up for entries for us to be able to take. So like right here, there's that lower low, price broke and closed below it. It didn't retest on the following candle, but it did retest on the second candle here, and it came straight back down. So break and retest there did play through. And yeah, we're just kind of waiting. Crazy market right now, as we expected for NFP. I was hoping to get at least maybe one or two entries in for today, but like I said earlier and previously, it's just, this whole week has kind of been all over the place. So don't try to force any trades here. Just wait for the trades to, set up and come to you. I know sometimes it's hard, but it's just been like this all week for the most part. Been like this all week trying to figure out where our setups can come up. I mean, I'm still looking for sells here, so be looking for more opportunity. So the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, all bearish. You can see our price is below the pivots. Trend meters red. Pivots are angling down. Looking over here on the 30 minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour, everything is bearish across the board. So literally everything is bearish. Looking at the jobs data from this morning, non-farm payroll, it was forecasted to be 100K. It was actually 83K. Unemployment rate is slightly below. And NFP data over here was forecasted to be 110. It was actually 73K. So yeah, it was pretty bad. And data is not good, of course. But like, what Sam said, the times are changing, right? Times are changing. AI is taking over. I mean, I'm sure if you guys went and got like fast food at some point recently, um, there's a lot of machines now. It's like there's nobody taking your order anymore. At least here in California, it's kind of like that. So they're cutting a lot of jobs with AI. It's all computers now. You just order from the screen and stuff like that. And that's just one example. All right, we got price coming down lower. All right, there's no hello break and retest here yet. So we got new highs here established or new lows here being established, but there's nothing here that's actually established yet. So as you can see, price is dropping lower. The lower low keeps getting pushed down lower. I'm waiting for price to retrace up. So I'm looking for it to retrace up so I can establish a new low. And then when price comes back down below it, I'm looking for that retest and write it down lower from there. But we just don't have that yet. So waiting for that retracement and then continuation back down. PC said, if I said back to open, would you think I'm crazy? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. There's no structure down here, so like I don't see any bounces happening anytime soon, right? There's just no structure down here. It's just open space. The next area is liquidity down here. Like if there was a demand zone right here where you can see price maybe come in touch, then possibly reverse back up, then okay, maybe. But price has already broken past both of the demand zones here. Um, I mean, I guess if I went on the really high time frame and I looked for another demand, possibly, but see, I mean, looking over here at market profile, there's nothing here either. So. Okay, so there's actually structure coming down right here. This is the value high from June 25th. So June 25th value high. It's pretty far out, but I mean that's gonna be the next, or I'll just draw a line right here. The next area of structure. So I mean, yeah, I mean it could happen. I mean, possible to bounce back up, but likely, not very likely. Right? I think that's the closest structure I think I can see. There's a 1 hour value high right here. Same thing, June 25th. All right, so I mean, possibility of a bounce back up, but I don't really see it happening anytime soon. Let's see how far is it from the value high. It's about 50 points further. That's the only structure that I see coming up for possible reversal. All right, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. We have a new low established right here. Well, not established yet. This is a new low, but it's not established, so I gotta wait for it to establish first, where I can really look for it as a high-low break and retest level. So if this pushes past it, it's going to be a new low. This here's going to be invalidated. And there you go, invalidated, new low right there. I mean, if you guys want to chase this, you possibly can. I wouldn't really recommend it, but if you do want to chase it, If you want to take the regular NPSs, there's a lot of NPS levels that are coming up here, guys. So this candle right here retraced up. Entry would happen right here at the 710. This candle retraced up. Entry would happen right here at the 780. Wouldn't have filled. This here would have retraced up. Entry would have been right here at the 7 or 630. If you want to micro scalp this way down, if you guys remember my micro scalp strategy, this is actually a perfect time to apply the micro scalp strategy. I don't like using it anymore, but because the trailing stop always screwed up my trades, but this would be micro scalp. This is like micro scalp galore right here. You can take a whole bunch of entries at this point, right? Yeah, I think right here, if you took the micro scalps, you would have had like maybe 10 or 20 wins right here because each candle shot down further. I wouldn't take them, but or I guess if I was just YOLOing one account, I would take them, but not for not on the copier because it's going to be almost impossible to get out of these trades fast enough. Let's see, Sam said there are no jobs in hospitality at all, and I don't know what's going on. People don't want to work, immigrants sent back. Yeah, I agree. Let's see, Sam said, but I'll sell at BTO if that happens. Yeah, exactly, Sam. If price does go back to open and retraces back that hard, I would obviously sell from that point. Let me measure this and see how far price is pushed because it's due for retracement at this point, guys. So price has almost dropped almost 100% or 1%, I guess. It's considered 1%, but I would consider this 1% in total. It's dropped about 440 points from this high and about 100%. Usually when it reaches the 50% mark, that's where I see the retracement start to happen. But you can see over here, this was the 50% mark. Price is not retraced yet. Still dumping. All right, so this lower low is just getting pushed down lower. We'll continue to see here. All right, let's see if this low here is established. See, the thing once this low gets established, you want to be careful because it could also go into a consolidation phase. Right? So we already had the big push right here. This is basically a distribution right here. So distribution has happened. And now we're going to see what happens next, which is either a correction back up or a continuation range. All right, let's see. All right, there's a possible high-low break and retest from this lower low right here, guys, at 43,600. So I'll try to get into this here if it closes below. It's got to for sure close below at the 43,600.
Order submitted. Order filled.
43,600. in the position right there.
Target filled.
Got out right there. All right. Quick 40 points. Or was that 40 points? Oh crap. I forgot to set my proper thing. So I got out right there, guys. I didn't get out at my accidentally. So I had the wrong ATM setting set up. So I got out of the position already, but I mean it's still technically running if you guys are in it. Yeah, I got out of it too quickly, which is I don't know what I did right there. But anyways, I got in and out very quickly and I made some profit on that trade. I think I forgot to set my ATM setting properly. But you guys can see right here, I got in right there, it closed me out right there at about whenever it got to that low point. I'm guessing like 20 points. So maybe it's a good thing that it closed me out because right here, price is starting to spike around a bit. All right, so we're kind of right here in this range right now, guys. I don't know if anybody else got into this position here, but I got in and out super quickly here. I'll send you guys my profits. I don't know what my target was set at, but this was my entry right here. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I had my old settings on my ATM. So I think it pulled me out pretty early at like 15 or 10 points or something like that. Here, anyways, I'll send you guys my screenshot. Basically, this is the entry I took. I don't know what it pulled me out at, but it got me out in and out super quickly. Unless it was using the old 3010, that might have been what it was. Yeah, either way, this is where I got in and out of. So let me show this to you guys real quick. It wasn't the full 40. I'll have to edit that, but here are my profits. Again, I don't know where my exit was, but here are my profits for that specific trade there. So I'm slightly in the red right now across some of my accounts. What I realized over the what I just noticed right now is not all my accounts were copying this week. So you'll see some of my accounts are still red for the week, but some of my accounts are, well, most of my accounts are green. I just forgot to turn my copier on for some of my accounts. So whenever you guys turn on your NinjaTrader or Replicano, make sure to check your accounts that are linked to it because for some reason I don't know what happened here, but some of my accounts were they just weren't counted. So you'll see there's like a big discrepancy across like some of the accounts. Okay. All right, so here are my profits from that trade. Like I said, I don't know what it was set at. I guess it was set at my old settings for my ATM, but this is where it got me out from. So I got 1,000. This is my personal account right here. I locked in 1,000 on my personal account. The other accounts over here locked in 500, 150. You can see some of my accounts here are still in the red for the week. These are like, again, I don't know. My NinjaTrader for some reason, I think it was just copying on like certain days. Like this was just the other day, but it didn't copy on the initial days. I just caught it this morning where some of them weren't activated. So you can see some of my accounts are up for the week, and some of them are down for the week. But these are my profits from that one trade that just passed. So it's a little mixed. So yeah, like I mentioned before, guys, just make sure to check your Replicano whenever you guys or just every morning basically to make sure that everything is in proper settings. But yeah, anyways, that's the position I took right there. I don't know what my TP was set at because it just ended up it entered and it closed super quickly as price spiked down. And that's where I got out at. So you can see over here for the day, I'm up. For the week, I'm still kind of down across some of my accounts. Not all the accounts, but for some of the accounts here. And then this is my personal account up here. I locked in the most 1,000. I think I might have put in it was probably set to my other ATM settings from a long time ago. And it just took a big contract size and it got out super quickly, 10 points or so. All right, there's another possible high-low break and retest right here. Here's the thing, guys. The ATR is so high. I don't think the 20-point stop loss is going to be able to save us from a lot of a lot of this price spike because that's kind of what happened right here. Price spiked up, then now it's coming right back down. So yeah, I would just be careful with these entries, guys. I mean, if anything, you might have to adjust your TP stop loss to something a lot wider, like maybe 50. But I think 50 and 100 might be a little too far out. I mean, it'll work though. So for example, if you did 50 to 100 here, might work. All right, so there's another high-low break and retest right here, guys. I don't think this is going to fill because price is so far below it. This is down about 65 points. So in order for it to retrace up, it's going to have to retrace up almost 100 points. So PC said, even though we are lower, Delta shows buyers absorbing a lot of sellers. So tricky after news, we should have a confirmation on direction. Do we have news coming up today? Let's see. Yeah, the news just passed right now. It was ISM manufacturing PMI. So we had inflation news that just came out right here, super negative. A lot of negative news today. So Michigan consumer sentiment and ISM manufacturing PMI, all negative. And that's what causes a big drop right here. So another news candle right there. I'm still trying to figure out how to like what like where did I exit from this trade here? I mean, I could see my exit. Yeah, it looks like it pulled me at 10 points. I mean, I guess I got lucky there then because this thing ended up spiking all the way up, came right back down. So I was curious why it pulled me out so early. Well, I guess I'll take the profits. I'm not going to complain about the profits, but yeah, it's a bit of a tricky market today. The ATR is not getting any lower, guys. It's getting higher. So if anything, if you're using a 20-point stop loss, it's going to be really tough to really navigate through this market because these candles are at least like 40 points each. Yeah, it's a 40-point candle right there. Yeah, these candles are huge. All right, we'll see here. The ATR is still getting higher, guys. ATR is pushing up to 40 now. So we're at 39, pushing up to 40, 42 ATR, guys. At this point, I would really just hold off in the market. The volatility is way too high right now. This is an extreme, like this is extreme volatility compared to what we're used to, or what's been happening for the past basically 6 months. Past 6 months, we can even get past 20 ATR, right? We're at 40 ATR right now. So a lot of market manipulation going to be happening right here, guys. I'd probably sit out and maybe just wait. The ATR is way too high right now. If you're going to take trades, make sure that your stop loss is a lot wider because the 20-point stop loss is not going to cut it today, guys. You'd have to probably base it off ATR at least 40, maybe 50, maybe even more. So something to keep in mind. ATR is at 41 now, guys. It's still climbing. 42. All right, 44. The ATR is still climbing, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy how high the ATR is up right now. And it's still climbing higher. It's after 7 o'clock and the ATR is just going higher and higher and higher. Each candle here is about 100 points, looks like, or not 100 points, but it's getting there. This candle right here is about 74 points. Yeah, the market volatility, this is moving like NQ right now with regard to volatility. I haven't seen the ATR this high since the first tariff news, so since April. Um, yeah, since April, we haven't seen the volatility this high. It's been down at like 20 ATR. So even though these candles don't look super big, guys, we know these candles are huge because of the ATR down here. So if you guys want to trade this, I mean, I would say trade at your own risk. It's really not worth taking any trades here right now because I mean, I'm glad I got into that first entry right there, but other than that, it's like the margin for error here is going to be huge. Like you just make one mistake or you enter a trade at, where price just ends up retracing at even just a little bit, you're going to get blown out of your position. Like if you entered a sell right here, this thing could retrace up almost 40 points within seconds, within a split second, and then come right back down. Yeah, Sam said we really not worth it. We messed up everywhere, but I'll take it. Yeah, exactly. It's just not now he's talking about being British. But yeah, right now the market's like all over the place in general. So I really wouldn't take the risk right now, guys. If you guys made profit today, I would just take the profit and run. Um, yeah, this is gonna be a really tricky market to maneuver through. If anything, I'm just gonna cut my losses for this week. So I had one win right there, so I recouped a lot of my losses. If you guys look over here, I'll try to do my trader sync in a little bit once the trades have settled. But for the most part, yeah, you guys can see my Discord. I'm gonna close this week in the red. It's inevitable. unless I get one good entry to kind of recoup it, then okay, maybe I'll be able to bring these back to green. But with this type of market right here, I'm not really going to force anything, right? The volatility is too high. Like I would ha really have to adjust the TP stop loss to something like a lot wider because a 40-20 is not going to work here. Mm-mm. At least not a 20-point stop loss because these candles are like they're huge. So the market, like in order for me to have a good entry, I would have to like really snipe the entry. Like there'd have to be no drawdown because even just a little bit of drawdown could stop you out if you're at 20 points. So there's two options I can do here. The one option is I can widen my stop loss a little bit and widen my target a little bit. So instead of 20, I could probably widen it to 40. So maybe go for like 40, 80. The other thing I can do is I can like just catch sweeps. Um, I mean, that's probably gonna be your best option, guys. If you guys are looking to take some entries here, I don't think the directional entries are going to be very safe because of the choppiness of the market. If anything, if you're looking for sweeps, that's probably going to be your best option to just get in at sniper entries, basically. Like, catch it as it rejects and then just write it down with no drawdown. Because if you're trading a directional move, like for example, high-low break and retest. So say, for example, you were to take a high-low break and retest from here, right? What happens a lot of times is price is probably going to retrace past the retest and then it'll probably come down. But that little extension right there is probably going to be more than 20 points. Yeah. So it's a huge risk if you're trading with a very tight stop loss during this type of market. You got to give it some breathing room. Let's see. Sam said 43,690 level shot. Anything to sell there? 43,690. Um, so there's a possible, I mean, there's liquidity right here, which is a little bit lower. I think your 90 is probably gonna be better because like I said, there's gonna be a lot of if price does sweep this level, it'll probably push past it a bit further before coming down because the candles are so big. So price might reach that point and then it might push out ATR level, which is gonna be about 40 points. Yeah, exactly. So if it does fill the sweep right there, it can possibly push past this area, a little bit of an extension, and then it comes back down. You might get like a wick out from that point. Let's check the market profile. So market profile over here, there is a point of control right there, exactly at where you mentioned. So 43,690. If price does push up to this market profile or to this point of control, the point of control is where all the volume's sitting. So this is volume point of control. If price does push to that point, it could possibly come up, reject off, push up to the point of control, and then reject off it, just like what you were looking for. So there is a possible rejection level right there. It's the point of control from its previous date. Let's see. Pretty far back. This is the point of control from June 26th. Yeah, June 26th, point of control. So I mean that volume could have been washed out by now. It might not be as relevant as it was prior. I mean the ATR on the 30-minute time frames is 107, guys. It's really high. So yeah, there's a possible rejection point right there. And then if you look over here on the 1 hour time frame, there is a rejection point from there too, but a little bit higher. It's at 43,698. Yeah, it's tricky. Yeah, Sam said, okay, thanks. 42 ATR, man. Not sure if 20 or even 30 will work. That's my worry. Yeah, that's what I'm concerned with too, because the ATR is so high. It's at 43 right now. and it's not getting any lower. So this means that price is really holding at this high ATR, 44. It's still up. If the volatility here started getting slower and started to die down, the ATR would drop down from 44 to like maybe 30, maybe 35, right? It wouldn't continue increasing higher. It's increasing to 45 now. This means that the volatility is not getting any slower, it's getting faster. So the average here is getting higher. As the average gets higher and higher and higher, you're going to expect more candles to be huge, right? So here's the average of the candles that are opening, 45 points. If your stop loss is 20 points, I mean, don't be surprised if you get stopped out within like as soon as you enter the position, right? Because if your stop loss is this small, you don't have a lot of wiggle room. Even a 30-point stop loss, not a lot of wiggle room there if every candle is moving at least 40 points. So just something to keep in mind, right? These candles here, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're 40 points or 45 points. They can be bigger than 45 points. It's just the average is 45. So see this candle over here? This candle is like a 60-point candle. It's way past the 45. Some of them, of course, will be a little bit smaller, but for the most part, they're going to average out around 40. So, I mean, I consider this a big risk. Possible sweep right here. And just when I thought this market, I was just talking to Chris about this yesterday. I was like, I'm hoping tomorrow's gonna be a lot smoother. It did the complete opposite. This is not a smooth market. I mean, it's moving directional, but it's not smooth at all. Where the volatility here is just, it's mad. And we were expecting this, we've been talking about this for a while. I kept mentioning that, there's going to be some sort of like black swan event that's going to kind of cause price to be very volatile. I wouldn't consider this a black swan event. A black swan event is probably what happened in April, right? With or a somewhat black swan event with the tariffs when they first came out. The thing is, there's too much stuff happening today, right? Here, I'll put the list of uh, catalysts for today. Non-farm payroll, inflation data, Fed data, tariffs. I mean, the tariffs news is probably going to be the biggest one that's really implementing it. So these are all the catalysts from this might not even be all of it. This is a lot of it though, but this is so typically you'll have like one catalyst for the day, right? You'll have like one news event that will usually affect the market. So you have like a time period where it's kind of spiky and then it slows down and it goes back to normal. But today we have a lot of data here. We had non-farm payroll, which is pre-market. We had inflation data, which is right here happened at 7 o'clock. We had Fed data from earlier this week. We got tariff news because the tariffs are expiring next week for certain countries. So every day there's like new tariff updates, and then it's a new month. So new contracts, new everything. So with that being said, there's a lot of stuff here. So like even though one of these might not be affecting the market right now specifically, there's going to be other stuff affecting it. So there's just a lot of stuff behind the scenes happening that's causing this volatility to pick up because usually the volatility is not this high, right? If you have one news event, you might have a spike right here earlier on in the day, and then it starts to flatten out. Right now, it's like doing the opposite. Price is pushing down right here, and then it pushed right back up with the same amount of volatility, right? If you measure right here, all right, so price has moved about 50% already. That's usually my rule of thumb. When price reaches a 50% mark, it's going to have to possibly retrace from here. So I think a sweep here might play through. Not your typical sweep, but yeah, basically a sweep here. It's a possibility, not for sure, but usually when I measure this, I use the whole numbers, right? Like 50, 100, 150, etc. That's like where I try to see where price tends to reverse from. So let's measure here from this higher high. So looking at this higher high right here, price pushed down to 50%, no reversal, no retracement. Price pushed down to 100 points, no reversal. There was some retracement right here, but no reversal. And then once it pushed down here, lower, 130, started to swing back up. So I try to use whole numbers to identify like how far the extension has gone. This extension's pushed down quite a bit. So it was due for retracement. Like this was a matter of time until it happened. Hmm. Yeah, I think this might be one of those weeks where I'm just gonna have to eat the loss. All right, we got price pushing up right here. PC, maybe you're back to open is going to play out. I mean, it's a possibility right here now, right? It did exactly what I mentioned earlier. So I did mark up the value high here from what we talked about. I know PC was like looking for structure down here. That was a structure right there. Price it rejected directly off it. So it rejected directly off the value high from June 25th. And this could possibly be the push back up to open. But you can see if you're trying to catch the rejection from there, price did extend out a little further. So it bounced off this point, but it extended another 100 points. That's crazy. 110 points. So rejection right there off the value high, but it did push out 110 points before it actually reversed back up. All right, so there's one of the scenarios here that you can possibly look for is a possible pushback to open, like we talked about. And then from there, I think Sam's probably going to look for a reversal. So possibly a sweep from this area. There's a lot of liquidity hanging out here. So what might happen is price might push up, grab liquidity, sweep, come right back down. Head and shoulders. We'll see. It's a break and retest right here. So this is a high-low break and retest off this higher high. Tricky entry, but I mean, obviously not one I would take. There's another one right here too of this lower high. So this is actually a pretty good high-low break and retest that came up. Price broke and closed below it or above it, retested immediately on the following candle and pushed it about 100 points. This one had no drawdown, so this was actually a really good entry. Good entry, but not exactly one that I would necessarily be inclined to take because the volatility is too high. So guys, if you're just joining in, I mean, you're in for a roller coaster market today. ATR is at 42. Yeah, ATR is at 42. Nice. Sam got into his level there. So Sam was trying to get in at 43,690. So it did extend out a little further, like I mentioned, right? So Sam looked to get in right here at 43,690. It extended out a little further than usual. I mean, it barely didn't hit stop loss there for 20. I think the 30 would have worked. Yeah, might have to use like a 30-60, guys, or even a 30-40. Nice. Yeah, so Sam used the 30 there. Smart. Makes sense. All right, we're getting a bit of a range consolidation here now, guys. We're starting to get a bit of a range consolidation here. We'll see if this actually holds or if it breaks through it. I'm still surprised that the ATR isn't dropping. We're at 7:30 right now, so we're like past mid-session, and the volatility is still getting higher. I'm curious if this is going to be the case. If this is the case and the volatility stays high, then we're going to have to make some changes again to our TP stop loss. Yeah, I don't know if the 40/20 would work as well if it stays this way. I mean, if anything, we'll just have to double up. Yeah, Sam said now I have to journal for it. Apex, why change TP stop loss? Yeah, exactly. Because they're probably going to deny your payout, Sam. Well, they probably won't deny this one because it's not super big, but if it's consistently like bigger, then yeah, you're gonna have to explain yourself. I know it's super annoying, but it's just what you gotta do sometimes. All right, so there's a possible high-low break and retest off this higher high right here. Again, if price breaks and closes past this higher high, look for that retest of this level and continuation up higher. That's the possibility. It's not there yet, but possibility. The ATR is currently at 40 right now, so it's starting to slow down a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. All right, so we got price pushing up higher, guys. The retest didn't happen. If you guys are looking to take that high-low break and retest, this candle broke close past this higher high. It would have to fill on this following candle, which I don't think is going to happen because the price is so far out. So in order for it to come back down, it's going to have to drop about 50 points almost. I mean, who knows? It might fill, but I doubt it. If it does fill, it's a really strong retracement there. No, not quite. Almost filled it right there, but not quite. So that would have to be canceled. That was a strong retracement, 50 points almost. Price pushed above, retraced at that point. This could look like the possible break and retest, continuation back up. Looking over here at the overall trend, the 1 minute is now back to bullish, 5 minutes still bearish, 15 minutes still bearish, 30 minute is bearish, 1 hour is bearish, 4 hours bearish. Everything's bearish still. Um, so I'd be, really cautious if you're looking to take any of these entries here. See, Sam said 43,780, 43,786 are for sell. Also looking for evidence here. So let's see. We'll just keep it around the whole number, 780. So I don't see anything right here with regards to liquidity, but let's take a look at market profile. I don't really see anything over here on market profile in the 30 minute. Let's go to the 1 hour. So there's a point of control up here. This is kind of where volatility or where the volume is sitting. So there is a point of control right here. It's going to be right at 786. Yeah. So right at your 786 right there, that's where you can see possible well, that's where price is going to be aiming to touch. So with it being point of control, um, this is where price is trying to reach. And then when it reaches that point, it can possibly just bounce off and possibly just bounce off from there. And the ATR is extremely high. 30-minute ATR is currently at 113. 1 hour ATR is at 151. 1 minute ATR is at 41. Okay, so it's starting to drop a little bit. You can see over here the volatility is definitely starting to drop a bit. It went from 45 to 40, now below 40. We'll see if it ends up holding around this area. We don't really have an overall trend right now, so if anything, here price may swing back to the downside. Yeah, messy week this week, guys. Hoping for better times next week. I think the market should probably stabilize for next week. I'm gonna go over here and update my trader sync if I can. All right, we got price coming back down. If price comes back down below this area, you can look for a possible high-low break and retest from this higher low. It's going to be at 43,640. Whole number. I like whole numbers. So I think if it breaks past this level, it's going to be a pretty nice entry. If it does. Let's see. Hmm. For some reason, my thing is not updating. Okay. All right, I'm trying to update my Trader Sync right now, guys. It's probably gonna take a while. They just looks like Trader Sync updated their whole website. I don't know if anybody's been on it lately, but looks like they updated. It looks complete, like it looks better. We'll see if it actually works better, but um yeah, it is updating my trades right now as we speak. All right, so we got price pushing back up right here. If price pushes up higher, we may have a possible high-low break and retest off this higher high. So we're getting a lot of range right here. This is not what you want price to be at because when it ranges like this, especially when the volatility is super high, it could easily trigger your stop loss, right? You guys know that. So we'll we'll see. So we have price breaking and closing past this higher high. If you guys want to take this as a high-low break and retest, your entry is going to be at 43,755. The ATR is at 40 right now. So again, if you guys want to do a 2040 TP stop loss, I would highly recommend against it. You probably would want to tighten it up a little bit, or not tighten it. You want to loosen it a little bit because it's too tight. Candle here hasn't closed above it, so there's still no opportunity there for entry yet. Again, you need price to break and close above this area, retest it, and continue up higher. These candles here are starting to die down a bit as we get closer to 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we'll keep looking for opportunities here. The only opportunity here that's really coming up right now as we speak is going to be a high-low break and retest. So looking at the MPS V2, I'm just like looking at, or just regular MPS, guys. The regular MPS is actually hitting pretty often right here. We had a buy signal, price pushed up, retraced right here. It retraced to 714, so the fill would be at 710. This is an MPS V2, or sorry, I keep saying MPS V2. This is regular MPS. So regular MPS right there, full TP. I'll keep looking out for these regular MPSs. They seem to be coming out pretty nice and pretty often. Yeah, again, right here, there's another one. So this was I mean, the MPS V2, you can see here it goes through like some pretty sharp retracements. But right here, we had a buy signal, price retraced on this candle. It retraced down to the 43,601. So your entry would be at 43,600, and it would have filled right here. I know Daniel used to like to apply. Well, that was like, I think you still apply it. The regular MPS, it's still a really good strategy, guys. If you guys want to use the original MPS, what I've noticed is that it's been working really well lately. So sell signal right here. See price would retrace right here at 43,765. So entry would be at the 70. It would have filled right here. Full TP for no drawdown. So if you guys want to go back and revisit the older strategies, I know right now we've been kind of looking at MPS V2s, but the original MPS is actually working really well right now in this type of market because it gives you a tighter entry. And you can also enter it with a pending order. So price has not broken and closed past this area yet. Again, if you're looking to take the high-low break and retest, it's going to be right here off this higher high. Again, if it breaks past it. All right. So nothing here so far, guys. So this higher high over here, this has been invalidated because there's a new higher high right here now. So that higher high can't be used anymore. This one is the new one. And price is still ranging and consolidating within this middle area. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll keep looking for opportunities here, but I'm just not seeing anything. All right, let's see what else we got. 7:40 right now, guys. We got 20 minutes till 8 o'clock. Again, if you guys have questions or you want me to look at something, let me know. I'm not really looking to take anything here because the ATR is still too high. My 40/20 is not really going to be too feasible in this type of market. I'll look for any opportunities that may show up, but again, from what I see right now and what I've been looking at, the entries that I've been working out pretty nicely are the original MPS. So if you look for the original momentum pullback scalps, not V2s, but just regular momentum pullback scalps, they're actually working pretty well. So I'll look out for the next one here. We currently have a buy signal which is pending, or which is active. We have a sell signal which is pending right now. If this sell signal closes, it could possibly set up for an MPS entry to the downside. So I'll look at the entry and then I'll kind of give you guys a heads up if it comes up. But yeah, what I've been noticing from yesterday was that yeah, the original MPS, which is just slightly different, right? For the MPS V2, you're looking for so let me just show you guys the difference. For the MPS V2, you're looking for price to break, or not break, but just you're looking for momentum to push, and they're just at different points. So we'll just use this as a pattern right here. So for the MPS V2, this is where the MPS V2 entry. This is where the MPS V2 entry would happen. And this is where the MPS entry would happen, right? They're just at different points. So like typically we would look for the confirmation for the MPS V2. The MPS is at the upper point because you look for momentum, you look for retracement, your entry would happen right here slightly above it. For MPS V2, you're looking for price to push momentum, retrace, and confirm, right? So that's why this is a V2 because you're waiting for another confirmation. The MPS, you're looking for retracement with the pending order. They both work very well, but right now this is the one that's really working well because the ATR is too high. The problem with this entry right here is that there's a second thing that happens after it now. Because the volatility is so high, when it does push below, it tends to retrace up a little bit before it comes back down. So it'll retrace up a little bit, stop you out, and then come right back down further. So there's been like an extra step lately, just like yesterday and today. Doesn't necessarily mean this is going to be the case moving forward, but that's just what I've been seeing for these past 2 days now, or this past week actually. So again, if the sell signal closes, you'll look for price to push down, retrace. Entry would actually happen a bit higher because you're not waiting for the confirmation, and then you write it back down to the confirmation. So you can take both if you want. If you want to take an MPS and then write it into an MPS V2, you can do that as well. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Right here, we have a possible high-low break and retest. There's a really close entry, but it is a high-low break and retest that's currently active, it looks like. This candle broke and closed below this higher low. This right here is a possible opportunity for entry. And this is an MPS V2. So with this said, looks like the 40/20 might be working again, guys. The ATR has dropped quite a bit. It's down to 34. It's not at 45 anymore. So it dropped about 10 points. So if you do want to take some entries, I mean, you could possibly take it with the 40/20. Again, I recommend that if when price reaches 30 points, like I did right here, move your stop loss in profit to 10 points. That's going to be your best option because you want to make sure that you protect your position in a situation like this. And the volatility is very unpredictable. All right, so price is on its way down to the 40 right there. If you did it at 30, like I mentioned, stop loss would get moved in profit. You'd guarantee 10 points and you'd be on your way. Damn, look at these huge candle guys. Damn, this is crazy. So again, this is another reason why I'm staying out of the market. This candle is huge, just came out of nowhere. Almost a 100-point candle right there. There's no news right now. Let me check CNBC. Yeah, this isn't the market to be playing in right now, guys. There's a lot of uncertainty. So here's what's really like I said, the tariff news is really what's affecting the market right now. So it says live updates from Trump's tariffs starting to kick in, reversing decades of global trade expansion. So with all the tariff news, this is why I'm telling you, like, this is why you should be careful and stay out of the market because the tariff news is really causing a lot of crazy stuff right now. Um, yeah, every time something new comes out, it's going to spike price. So it doesn't really matter what direction you're trading in. If you're on the wrong side, you're on the wrong side. I'm probably going to wrap this up pretty soon, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'll be wrapping this up pretty soon. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap this up early. There's just no need to force any trades here. I don't really want to. I don't want you guys to be forcing any trades either, because the thing is, you can get a flat market here, and all of a sudden you might just get a huge 100-point candle to come out of nowhere. There's a lot of updates here with regard to news, so I don't really think there's any reason to really force anything. I mean, the Dow is down 500 points, which is pretty crazy for today, right? Because the Dow was up to all-time highs just a few days ago. Now it's down to negative 500 points, which is pretty insane. We really don't see that happen very often. But even with that happening, I mean, price is still kind of pushing up right now. So it's pushing up for some slight recovery. Let me go in the higher time frame, the 15 minute. You can see here how price kind of dumped for a bit, and then now it's starting to push right back up as we start off the new month. So, all right, guys, I think this is going to be it for the day. For this week, we had a couple losses, couple wins. So I'm going to be closing this week out with some losses, unfortunately, but it's just part of the game, right? Let me see if my Trader Sync updated. Just trying to update my Trader Sync. For some reason, it's still not. Let me see. Parts. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, for some reason, my Trader Sync does not show. It's not really showing all my trades here. And for some reason, Trader Sync's been kind of weird lately. Like it's showing that I have these like big trades that I took, which I didn't take today. Weird. All right, I'm gonna have to update my Trader Sync again because for some reason like it shows like these really big trades that I didn't take. Yeah, it says I took some trades right here at like 44,700, but I don't remember taking. I didn't take any. buys today either. It's weird. All right, anyways, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Looking at this so far, and another spike down right here. So again, this is another reminder that this is probably a good time to just call it a day, guys. You can see our price is really spiking back and forth. We're having a big range now. Like every candle here is pretty big. It's about a 100-point range. This candle was about 88 to 90 points. This candle over here is about almost 88 to 90 points. Let me just measure real quick. So this one over here was, yeah, 84 points. And then this candle over here was 67 points. So with that being said, like I said earlier, it doesn't matter which direction you're trading in. You'd be taking buys here, and if price does decide to spike down like it did right here, easily stopped out. If you take a sell right here and price spikes right back up, easy to get stopped out right there. So I think this is probably a good time to just wrap it up. I don't think there's a reason to force anything here. Let's see. Sam said, yeah, twice sold off before 780.86, also staying out. Why would why sold off 10 points before? I know. It got close to like where you're looking to get in from. I mean, it got close to the supply zone right here as well. Didn't really get there and to fill, but it was a sweep right here. So if you guys are looking to take entries, I think sweeps will probably be your best friend, like I've been mentioning, because this is kind of what's happening here. Price is sweeping off these levels. They might not be huge, super huge sweeps, but this one over here it swept off this higher high, and this thing dumped down like, 120 points right there. Sam said, look at YM, 100 points sell just like that, missing it all. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's best to just sit out, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I would just wrap up this week. You know, this week was a bit of a toss up. You can see over here from my profits, I made some profit for this day, and I made some losses for this week. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, I'm gonna close out this week red, unfortunately. First red week in a while, so not a huge, super huge deal. July was a big month for me, so I'm still staying afloat. So I'm closing the month out in profit, closing the day out with some loss, but overall it's I'm still in profit for the week, or no, for the month overall. So all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. I'll try to post up my Trader Sync once everything is updated. I'm looking at my Trader Sync right now. It's obviously not correct. I mean, especially for today, it shows that I had like these big buy trades, but I didn't take any buys today. So that's why I'm a little confused about like why it shows any buy entries here. Um, Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It shows that I have losses for today, but I have no losses here on my on my screenshots that you guys can see. There's losses for the week, but not for the day. That's why I think it's kind of unusual that it's showing losses there. So I'll just have to re-upload all the positions and update the calendar again. But all right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up.